Welcome to 32 Days of Lingus.
What day is this?
This is day 7. I'm Kev Manning.
I'm Fausty Walnuts.
This is where we run down every WrestleMania in a row.
In a row?
All 32. The countdown to WrestleMania 32 continues on day 7. WrestleMania 7!
Superstars and stripes forever.
Oh, it had to be moved from the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum to the LA
Memorial Sports
Arena. Because they thought they were going to be bombed and attacked.
Yeah, since we had the Iraqi sympathizer Sergeant Slaughter in the main event.
Yeah, that'll probably do it. I think that's that didn't help things.
I heard there is speculation that WWE K5 that and that the ticket sales leading up were so shitty that they said, well, fuck, we're not going to be able to fit 100,000 people in here. We're going to have to settle for this 16,158 over at the arena.
No kidding. So, how many was it? Say again?
They ended up having 16,158 at the LA Sports Arena.
Nowadays, it's like that'll never happen again.
Yeah, because they would have had to fill up 100,000 at the Coliseum because the Coliseum's huge.
My thought was, how do they, if they were getting sales already, right? Mm-hmm. Ticket sales, how do you transfer that over to a completely different place?
I don't know.
It's right away. I'm like, well, you're like, I guess it's this area. It'd be like, listen, I picked these seats.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were like, all records will be shattered. That's what their whole thing was leading up to it. Yep. They were hooting about that.
Welp.
Yeah, it didn't look big time. Mm-hmm. It didn't look big time at all. So this was the USA Mania, of course.
USA Day. And to start off, Brooklyn Brawler did the job in a dark match for the second year in a row, losing to Coco.
Oh, wow.
Coco Buckwheat.
Coco Buckwheat where? So this time, the singing of America the Beautiful. Mm-hmm. Willie Nelson went and embarrassed himself. This is bad. This is real bad. Because what is he wearing?
Oh, fuck.
Can you name everything he's wearing?
Oh, geez. I'm trying to remember now. He had a bandana on and some hideous jacket.
No, not really. I'll tell you exactly what he's wearing. He's wearing a WrestleMania shirt, long sleeve shirt, Hogan bandana, Bret Hart glasses, and a kid's foam belt. The belt was the best part. You're like, holy shit. He's wearing the kid's belt.
Stopped by the merch booth on the way to the ring.
I think he was probably high.
Yeah,
that's what happened. So how about this for it starting off? Who's commentating the first match? Who's the commentary? Because you say no more Jesse. Remember last show?
Mm-hmm. Was it Heenan?
Gorilla and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And I was like, what in the world? Because it makes more sense now. Because the first match is the Rockers versus Haku and the Barbarian, managed by Bobby Heenan. So he needed someone to fill in that spot. And how about this? In the interview the Rockers give before the match, they Mean Gene starts talking about, Haku, is scary, this and that. They give the spooky fingers.
Ooh.
The first people to ever do the spooky fingers they give.
Is that where Razor got it?
Well, they weren't the first. I'm like, so it was Sean and Marty, the first to give spooky fingers about it. So the Rockers won, and then we got to have Gorilla and Bobby then. Later, it went to, now we have our famous people there. It's Regis. Listen to this rundown of who's. Regis, Marla Maples.
Oh, yeah.
Why? Alex Trebek, who interviews in the back with annoying jokes, saying, you have to answer in the form of a question. Shut the fuck up. Get off my television. I'm angry and it was 100 years ago. Get off my fucking
He was hot
TV.
at the time.
You and your fucking porn stash. Oh, God. So now we got, like I said, Gorilla and Bobby's on commentary. Now we got Dino Bravo against, see, he's in there again, that Dino.
Yeah.
He's around. Against
Texas
Tornado. How about that? How about that?
Little Kerry Von Erich himself.
Exactly.
I like Texas Tornado.
I was not a fan at all Why? Whose belt did he take?
Oh, was it perfect?
Yes, it was fucking perfect. I was pissed. And you could never beat him. He got whooped by Tornado. So, the Warlord versus Davey Boy. Now, this seemed to happen. This match was like all the time.
Yeah.
You remember that? It was constantly two powerhouse guys. And what dog did Davey Boy have with him?
Oh, well, it wasn't Matilda then.
No.
It was Winston?
There you go. Fucking Winston. Nasty Boys versus the Hart Foundation. Nasty Boys with that over the top
For the tag
hooting and hollering. It's always Knobs.
Oh, yeah.
I was watching
Not
it.
Hastings.
Yeah, I had to tweet out Hastings' picture yesterday with Sags. Yeah, a helmet used after the heart attack. They had him beat, and then they got a helmet used against them, so the Nasty Boys won the titles. Jake the Snake versus Rick the Model Martel. I enjoyed this match so much.
I remember enjoying it back then, too.
I loved this match because they were both blindfolded because the lead-up story was Jake got shot in the eye. I thank you.
Yes.
By Cologne.
Arrogance.
I have a story for that as well. And so remember he's on Brother Love and the glasses came off?
Yeah.
And one eye was white?
Yeah, that's
fantastic.
That freaked me out. I remember.
They were like, remember Vince? Oh my God.
So as a kid, let's see how old I was. Like, 13.
I was like,
12.
holy shit. That was wild.
Hideous.
So they had to have those bags on their heads, which is great because they could see, obviously. And they were doing the whole thing where Jake would point across the ring, the crowd would cheer, and he would go that way. But he would go so slow, if you were Martel and you heard the cheers, you would roll. Right. Get the hell out of there. Or you would stay there in a stance low. So you would touch his legs and grab him. Yeah. You would know he's coming. So we had that whole thing where not much went on, but it was really fun because like they would both turn the certain direction and run and then bounce off the ropes and fall down and shit. And we got our DDT, as always. And I went to the mall and asked, do you guys have Arrogance? And I went to many malls trying to find Arrogance.
Walking into Macy's. Excuse me, do you carry Arrogance?
Do you carry Arrogance? I ended up making my own Arrogance.
What would they tell you? Just no, never heard of it.
Yeah, they could. No, I don't think we do. And they were looking through all their stuff.
Is that Calvin Klein? No, it's Rick Martel.
Yeah, it's Rick Martel. You don't know? Rick Martel. I wear a big giant button that said a hi. I'm a model.
I was gonna say, did it come in the big fucking shooter thing? The
bug spray shooter?
Bug spray thing.
I went to Orchard Supply, bought the bug spray thing, filled it with cologne, and wrote Arrogance on the side of it. And I used that, and I would walk around and go, ah, yes, you smell it. And I would squirt it.
Smell it.
And the funny thing is, what cologne did I put in it?
Something cheap. I don't know.
They wouldn't like Brute or anything.
Say Brute, that's what I was going to say.
Old Spice. There was a cologne that I thought it was a cool name, so I bought it. It was Cavalier. I said, I don't know why, but I'll buy this. It was a cool name.
This name sounds fitting.
Why not? Cavalier, Arrogance. That's pretty fucking close. I got that. So that was that. I thought this match was fantastic. It's one of my favorites of the whole night. Snuka versus Undertaker. Taker's first Mania.
The beginning of the streak.
Welcome, Taker. Welcome.
And we finally caught up to somebody that is still wrestling nowadays.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah, well, he's still around. Career match. It's a long match. Macho King versus Warrior.
I enjoyed this match back in the day, too.
And how did he lose?
Oh, my God.
Foot on the chest? Modern day Khali Taker.
You know, and a couple days ago, I was bitching about Hogan, hulking up after taking the elbow drop. Well, how many elbow drops did Macho drop on Warrior?
Yeah, that's true.
5!
And he stood up.
Elbows.
Get off me. Get off.
Gets up, does 3 shoulder blocks. Didn't even do his regular, gorilla press slam and splash.
Rolled him back in because he went out of the ring from it.
That was so bizarre. And just stood on his chest and was like, what the fuck? And then after Sherry freaked out, took off her shoes, and beaten up, and you knew something was going to happen because they kept showed
Liz in the crowd. I think she was sitting next to Jim Johnson. I think. I look at it, it looks like him to me.
Probably.
Yeah, who knows? But I'm like, who's the security? That's the security?
And she finally gets in.
Well, here's the funny thing is that, they try to make it, oh my God, look, she's always loved him. And I'm like, aren't they divorced at this point, right?
No. They're married at the time.
Still?
Yeah, I think so.
Didn't they like break up? And it was like
because this led to SummerSlam when they
got married,
the K5
fake
marriage, but they were already married.
So it was, he's always loved her and this and that, and right, all of a sudden he's a gentleman. He opened the ropes. They all busted nut, and they go. Gorilla goes, tears running down her cheeks. There was a dry as the Mojave Desert. Her face was not a tear, and it's so great because it shows someone in the crowd crying. Bobby starts laughing hysterically.
Bobby's so good.
And then later, Bobby says, I'd rather have money than a skirt.
You imagine those? Like, it's just, I hate retirement matches because it never happens, If you didn't know it never happened, it'd be fine. But I was like, all right. So remember we were saying this. Macho's retired at WrestleMania 7 here. I wonder what's going to happen tomorrow.
So bizarre. We get Taker now measuring Regis for a coffin in the back while he's trying to get interviewed. I'm like, okay. Demolition interview with Alex Trebek, and it's crush and smash.
Right.
So,
Axe has been
axed. Now, who does Demolition fight? Holy God. I was like, I had no recollection of it.
Two imports that they borrowed from Japan.
Tenryu and Katao.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy God. Who are these guys? And so here's the thing. Demolition comes out to different music.
Yep.
It's not the music. And I'm wondering, what the hell? They played it the other one. Why can't they play their music? And I'm thinking it's fake music. No. Because they say, here comes the axe. It can't. They're not going to do that then. So it's just like spooky music.
Yeah.
I'm like, boy, oh boy. I like, well, beginning of the end for Demolition. That's bad.
Sadly.
Yeah. Boss Man versus Perfect for the IC title.
Perfect losing again. Wow.
Jesus. Yeah, he keeps the belt. Lord Alfred Hayes and Gorilla this time. Doing commentary because Bobby is there.
Right.
And Andre shows up. Very odd. Andre's barely walking to the ring, and he punches, or he hits the belt in the head of Perfect. That's how he gets knocked out, and he's out of it. And I'm watching this, and I don't remember it at all. And I'm like, he just knocked Perfect out. Boss Man's going to win the title, but I know Boss Man never won the title. I was like, what in the world? What kind of hotel? And then the Heenan family shows up, and it's very bizarre, the whole ending of this, because Boss Man whips someone into the ropes, and Andre grabs the foot of Boss Man goes to throw Haku into the ropes when they're fighting, and Andre grabs his foot as he's about to do his move to it. It's what? So Haku literally falls on his face, or no, Barbarian falls on his face. It's like, okay, all right, what are you doing? And then it's Boss Man has to be shaking hands and best friends with Andre in the hall, in the aisleway. Thanks for your help.
Thanks, pal.
And Andre's trying to talk to him in that horrible, Trump, Chuck Norris, Henry Winkler, and Lou Ferrigno walk into a bar. This is what's in the crowd. Loose Ferrigno. And this is another thing they can't do anymore. What does Bobby say after these interviews?
Oh, fuck.
Oh, my God. How can Lou talk with 15 pounds of crackers in his mouth? How great is that? Jesus.
How great is Bobby?
And don't you start, Bobby. Earthquake versus Valentine we get
Whatevs.
LOD versus Power and Bori.
LOD making their WrestleMania debut.
2-minute match. Fuck Money versus DiBiase.
He won.
A count out with Sherry. Sherry comes to help.
Yeah.
That's when Sherry gets with DiBiase. The Mountie versus Mr. WrestleMania, Tito Santana, 7 in a row.
In the cool-down match before the main event.
Yeah. And then we get Hogan versus Slaughter. And Slaughter goes, I saw how you ended your match with Warrior.
Let's just
I'm doing the
do that
same
again.
thing. I'm kicking out at 3. And he kicks out at 3. And the funny thing that they don't show, do you remember after that, on regular TV or whenever they show wrestling, what happened after Hogan went backstage after winning the title?
Nope.
It was Slaughter was waiting for him behind a closed door in his locker room. And when Hogan went in, he burned his face.
Oh, yes. Now I remember, yeah.
And it was like, wow, they don't show this or any, it's like whatever. But yeah, he burned his eyes.
Right.
And that was that.
Because then, yeah.
So that's your Mania 7 rundown for the day. And what is your final notes on 7?
Dead guys. Texas Tornado, Dino Bravo, British Bulldog, Ultimate Warrior, Randy Savage, Crush, Big Boss Man, Mr. Perfect, Earthquake,
Oh my God.
Hawk, Paul Bearer, Hercules, and Piper. 13. Didn't match our 15 from yesterday, but
Last week.
yesterday. Excuse me.
What's even bad is we're recording these all in a row, so I don't know when you come up with last
In
week.
a row?
That's your WrestleMania rundown for your 32 days of Lingus WrestleMania 7. I'm Cav Manning.
I'm Fauci Wellness.
We'll see you tomorrow.